Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Thank you all so much for connecting with me here. I would love to know where many of you are from. Put in the chat, where are you connecting with me from? I appreciate each and every one of you connecting with me today. Good morning, Dr. Marie. Good morning. Good morning. It's so important that we start the day right. We are on day 23. I will practice vulnerability. We are on day 23. Thank you all so much for meeting me here. Share this talk with somebody. Somebody needs to hear it. It's about vulnerability. I will practice vulnerability. And the reason that I'm sharing this with you, as you know, I am an executive life coach, and I'm sharing with you tips from my sessions with my clients, the ones that are struggling. Blaka, thank you, Betty, for gracing us with your presence this morning. Thank you. Drop in the chat, where are you connecting with me from? What city, what state, what country? Anything you want to share. Good morning, good morning. I am focusing on the intention today. I will practice vulnerability. I will practice vulnerability. Come on in the room. Come on in the room. Thank you all so much. Gertrude, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Where are you connecting with me from? Let me know. Let us know. Let's build this tribe together. Let us feel like we know you. Even though you may be coming to me from your car, from your living room, maybe your bed. Doesn't matter where. I love that you come here every day. And my commitment to you is to continue to share nuggets with you that will help you to grow and to have the best year ever. I do want you to have a better experience this year than you did. So I'm going to jump in. So as I stated, today's day 23 of us setting intentions together. And today's intention is, I will practice vulnerability. And what's triggering this or bringing this about is I had several sessions yesterday, and two of my clients, one of them is a new manager to the corporate space and finished college, and she's like, Coach, this is different. There's a lot of things here. And one of the feedback that she got from her manager is to speak up and to not be the flower on the wall, to say something, to share, to join the conversation, let people know she's there. And she's like, Coach, I don't know enough yet. She's concerned. She's nervous. She's like, I'm new here. There are more senior people in the group. They know better than me. And, she's a little nervous. And I get that. Vida, I get that. I understand. I was new many times, right? Every time we take on a new role and we go into a new space, we're new. So we got to walk in there with our courage. So I listened to her, and I heard her concerns and where she's stuck, and we walked through it. And one of the things that, she took away from our exchange is that vulnerability is so critical to her growth and her movement. And another client, she's like, yeah, in a small group, I'm good. I can talk and I can share in a small group, but in a large group, I get intimidated, especially when you have senior leaders and senior management there. She's overthinking. And I get that. I really understand. And this is why I do the work that I do. And at the end of the session, she too recognized that the only way for her to step up and to stretch and to become the best version of herself and to create her brand and to open up her mouth so that people know she's in the room and that she has something to contribute is to lean into vulnerability. So you may ask, Coach, what exactly is vulnerability? I'm so glad you asked. So vulnerability is your willingness to be seen honestly, to show up without performance and take your armor off. This protective thing that you have on. You're showing up as yourself. Authenticity is shining through. You're okay with making a mistake. You're releasing shame. You are saying, I am going to be me. I'm going to speak up and I'm going to pivot. If it doesn't land very well, or if there's a mistake or something happened, I'm going to learn through it. You're making peace with the experience before it happens. So what it means when you're vulnerable, it can come across in many ways. And I'll share a few here with you. I'll share a handful, and you can, take it with you and apply it and come back here and let me know. As a matter of fact, those of you who were here with me yesterday, you were supposed to practice how you practice your healthy self-talk. Share it here. How did you do it? How did it show up for you? And if you weren't here yesterday, that was the topic. And I'm having a little bit of trouble uploading the video, but as soon as I can, I will try to get it to you. I'm not sure what's happening, but that's where we're at. And yeah, so let's get back to today's topic. So today's topic is I will practice vulnerability. We're talking about what it means, how it shows up in your life, right? So because when we're vulnerable, we're willing to be honest. We're willing to show our true self. We're willing to express who we are. And I'd love to engage with you. Share with me how you are practicing vulnerability. How did you show up with vulnerability, Kenyatta? How did you show up in a vulnerable way yesterday, today, last week, or even this morning? Share with us because, again, we want to learn together. We value each other. We're building this tribe. So one of the first ways that comes to mind as to what it means is speaking your truth even when you're uncomfortable, right? Speaking it. This is my opinion. This is my perspective. Being okay with sharing your perspective in the group and not holding it to say, no, I'm not going to say anything because they won't understand or I don't know enough. You're getting in your head. You're allowing the inner chatter, the negative self-talk to get in the way of you growing and stretching. Allow vulnerability to go before you and lean into that and be okay that what you share, hope it will be received. And if it's not received, you have the power to correct it or clean it up or say it another way. Again, you're getting out of your comfort zone. You're not letting people what they think or what their thoughts are according to you stop you from being the best version of yourself. It's also acknowledging your uncertainty, your emotions, and you're saying, I'm going to do this without shame, without attaching to shame. Vulnerability say, I'm going to lean in. I'm going to be who I am. I'm going to be okay with it and not talk myself out of stepping in to a space where the opportunity is waiting, possibility is waiting. Because when we stop ourselves, we lose what's available to us. We don't get what's there for us. When we lean into vulnerability, we're choosing authenticity over perfection. And how many of you know we've talked about this? In this tribe, there is no such word as perfection. Perfection is saying this thing is flawless. There's no need for improvement. And if you think about what you're doing and different experience you have, if you sit and go through a moment or a few minutes of reflection, you can see, okay, what went well, what didn't go well, and what you can learn. So even the things that went well, you can see ways you can still improve upon it. You can still make it better. It's all about growth. It's about progressing and using consistency. Because as you progress, you learn new things, new ways to do things. And you're allowing yourself, by using vulnerability, you're allowing yourself to let go of perfection and grab a hold of authenticity. People want to meet the real you. People want to meet the real me. And I had to learn that thing, right? People don't want to meet your copy or a carbon copy of you or your pretender. People don't want to meet that. Share in the chat. When was the last time you were vulnerable? How is vulnerability showing up for you? It is so important that you know what you need in order to grow. In order to ask for what you need in your relationship, you've got to be vulnerable. And when you're vulnerable, it's a risk. Believe me, it's a risk. As a man, I was vulnerable. Hold on, let me read that. Thank you, Kenyatta. As a man, I was vulnerable to my ex. It backfired. I understand where you're coming from. I mean, listen, it takes a risk, right? It takes risk. And thank you for sharing. However, what did you learn? The only way you can stay in the pain of it backfiring for you is if you lose the lesson, if you didn't grab a hold of the lesson. And it's never too late to revisit something where you were disappointed, where you were hurt, and where you are stuck. And ask the thing, what did this experience come to teach me? What can I learn from it? Is when you lean into the lessons, that's where you can see the benefit of your vulnerability, right? Try it on and come back here tomorrow and let me know how that goes, right? Because the thing is, vulnerability calls you to stop hiding. Stop hiding. People want to meet listen, as the saying go, may the real person step forward. People want to meet the real you. Stop pretending. There are people who say fake it till you make it. There's some, sometimes you may have to do that, but I personally don't like that phrase. I personally don't use that phrase. I said lean into vulnerability and be okay. And I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. It's a muscle that has to be learned. You got to do it over and over and see how it shows up for you, right? And the important thing to remember is the real you has to come out. You can only pretend but for so long. And whether you like it or not, the real you will come out. Many of you may know Dr. Brene Brown, and I would love for you to lean into her work. That has saved me and helped me so much. Because there was a time I was in my head and vulnerability was not something I was, okay with because of shame, because of the poor choices that I made in my life as a young person. I got into my head. I got into my own way. And she has a book called The Gift of Imperfection. Again, imperfection. All of us are flawed. All of us are imperfect beings, but it's about the lesson that we learn through the imperfect places and spaces we've gone through in our lives. It is so important. Thank you for the love and thank you for liking this and thank you for sharing this. It's so important that we know there's a space for us to grow. I will practice vulnerability. Practice it. Share what you're learning here today so you can help somebody free themselves. Vulnerability does not mean rejection, Kenyatta. It doesn't mean rejection, even though you may feel it backfire. There's a lesson. Rejection means redirection. You got to look at it differently. As you've heard me say, Wayne Dyer's quote, and you will hear me repeat it because that quote also helped me. If we change the way we look at things, the things we look at will change. That's a quote by Wayne Dyer. And we've got to change how we show up. We got to change how we think if we want to have the best year ever. If you lost something, left something in 2025, and you want a brand new experience in 2026, you've got to do things differently. You got to change the way you think. You got to grab a hold of behaviors and practices and lessons that you're learning that's going to make a difference and that's going to give you a different experience. Some of the benefits of vulnerability, did you know it reduces your emotional stress? When you're vulnerable, you stop hiding. And how many of you know hiding is exhausting? Hiding is exhausting. When you're honest, you feel this freedom. It frees you when you're honest. When people get to meet the best you, the real version of you, Letty. Thank you, Linda, for joining. Thank you, Joyce, for joining. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for interacting with me. Share with me. Peer, when was the last time you leaned into vulnerability? Vulnerability is waiting on you to grow, to stretch, for the real, authentic you to come out. And like I said, I know it's risky sometimes to be vulnerable, but you've got to take it if you don't want to continue to experience the version of yourself that you are now. Because there's no change that's going to happen unless you think about it differently. Vulnerability also strengthens your resilience. Listen, that one right there, I learned a lot from because it wasn't always part of my DNA. And when I learned to let go of the fear, when I learned to find the active, off of fear, off procrastination and perfection, all these things, and grab a hold of vulnerability, I recognized that resilience was available to me. Resilience is your bounce back muscle. You're rising up like a phoenix in spite of what's coming at you, Andy. In spite of what people are saying, you're being your authentic self. When you lean into vulnerability, you recover faster when you face your reality. And sometimes you may need help, like a coach, to help walk you through the process, help you break down what you're experiencing, help you look at it differently, help you to reframe. You also may need the help of a therapist if that's trauma. Because one of the things I help my clients do is recognize what is trauma, and then they will go and talk to someone that governs that space, like a counselor or a therapist, and what is your own thinking getting in your way. You have sabotage that's robbing you and stealing from you, and you're not leaning into your vulnerability so you can grow, right? It's important, Esther, that we grow, Andy. Yikes, yikes, indeed. This is so timely, yikes. Thank you for that. We've got to make sure that we're leaning into vulnerability because there's strength in it. Vulnerability creates connection. Don't you want to feel connected to people? You don't want this pretender. You don't want to hang out with pretenders. Whether it's a platonic relationship, a working relationship, or a romantic relationship. May the real you please stand up. Lean into vulnerability. I can't even say the word vulnerability. Here's the thing. Say, I don't know. Can I ask a question? Can you explain that? Use open-ended question to be curious about the situation. If you're in the room and they said something that just went right over your head, you can say, you know what? Would you mind going back and help me understand a little bit better? Give me some examples. Right? You have to be open, because here's the thing. If you're looking to grow in the space that you're in and you want to take on that next stretch assignment, you want that next title, that next role, you cannot be silent, because when you're quiet and silent, they don't see you. They don't know you're there. They don't know your talent. They don't know what you have to offer. They have never heard from you or seen you because you disappear into the wall or into the back of the room. You got to come forward. Stand up, open up your mouth, let your voice be heard. You have a voice. Your voice matters. And vulnerability is going to help you be able to share that, help you to get connected. And when you make a mistake, you pivot. You say, okay, thank you for sharing that. Great feedback. I will sit with that feedback and try to break it down some more and try to apply it. Be open. That's how we learn and grow. Be okay with saying, you know what, I'm feeling nervous today, but I'm going to push through anyway. Right? It's so important that we tap into the power of who we are. I am a coach, and I will put the link in my bio for you to get a free 15-minute consultation with me so I can help you to lean into vulnerability so you can have the best year ever. Right? Once I get a hold of this downloading things, I can get you this video. The other thing to remember is that vulnerability builds psychological safety. Vulnerability builds psychological safety. So many of you are challenged by so many things going on in the world, and you're afraid, you're worried. And we've talked about in this tribe before, fear is either face everything and rise, or reminding you that it's false evidence appearing real. Many of us get fearful about things that never happen, and that fear robbed you of the experience that was available to you. It robbed you of you being seen, be heard, and vulnerability allow you to be seen. Vulnerability allow you to grow. Vulnerability helps to build your confidence. Vulnerability helps you to build resilience. There's so much wrapped in vulnerability. Put a thumbs up, put a word in the chat here. Talk to me. Let me know how are you going to use vulnerability today. Let me know when was the last time, Ellen, that you use vulnerability. Talk with me. I want you to grow. I want you to stretch. I want you to become the best version of you. Vulnerability doesn't mean you're not capable. As a matter of fact, it means you are. It means you are capable. It means you're more than effective, It makes you more effective, I should say. It makes you more effective when you lean into vulnerability. Stop hiding. Stop hanging out in spaces where you should be shining. Be bold today. And when you shine your light and someone gives you a comment that your light is too bright, as my coach Lisa Nichols would say, hand them a shade and tell them, put on the shade, because don't dim your light. Don't dim your light. Show up in that space. Somebody's waiting on your light so that they can move. When you lean into vulnerability, you give everyone who's watching and paying attention the opportunity to shine, to say to themselves, if Ellen can do it, if Juan can do it, if Yikes can do it, if, see all of you here, if Ashley can do it. If Patricia can do it, if Andy can do it, so can I. Your vulnerability allows people to free themselves. They just want to see somebody do it. And not just somebody, you. Because I may do it and they may not connect with me, but they're waiting on you. How many of you know we're each assigned a set of people? And even though you may have 5 people doing the same thing, those 5 people will not have a connection with everybody the same way. Each person will have a different connection with each person that's listening. So you got to know that if you have a book in you, if you have something you want to start doing, you want to take on that new role, you want to be a creative, you want to take on that new company, become an entrepreneur, somebody's waiting on your product, somebody's waiting on your service. Allow vulnerability to help you to do it scared. Stop letting shame and what coulda, shoulda, woulda stop you from becoming the best version of you. And I'll pause here and I'll connect again with you tomorrow morning at 7:45. I know it's the weekend, but I'll be here. And I want you to be here too. Like and share this video and send it out. Go to my channel and click on other videos there. Make them your favorite. Share them with people. Help me to build this tribe. And put time on your calendar and mine so that we can meet and we can go through this together. It is time to get out of the shadows. It is time to use your voice. It is time to share your opinion. It is time to ask for the raise. It is time for you to not let sabotage rob you, procrastination, fear of failure, fear of success. Stop letting it rob you. It is time to get out of your own way. Lean into vulnerability and know that vulnerability will boost your engagement. Vulnerability will connect you to people. It is a human connector. It's not about title, it's about connection. If you're looking to connect, lean into vulnerability, because when you are vulnerable, you give people permission to come out of hiding. You give people permission to come out of hiding. Vulnerability also increases your credibility. There was a time I wouldn't do this. I was too scared. I was in my head. And believe it or not, I'm so comfortable now sharing my story because I've been healed and I now know the importance of vulnerability. I now know that I am a gift. I'm a gift. And so are you. Find your gifts, find your talents and share it with the world. The gift of Imperfections by Dr. Brene Brown helped me a lot. Study her work. She will help you to manage shame, release shame, help you to lean into vulnerability so you can have the best experience. You can be the best wife, the best husband, the best mother, the best friend if you lean into vulnerability. All right? Have a great day, and I'll see you soon. And go out there and be the best version of who you are. Thank you so much. Talk soon. Thank you all for sharing, Kenyatta and everyone who shared. I appreciate you. Bye-bye for now.